Preserving your capital when you are trading is single-handedly one of the most important things that you should be focused on. Now, when I say preserving your capital, that means not taking massive losses. And when I'm actually trading, let's say I'm trading for the day, I want to be risking 1 to 3% max. This is usually per setup because I usually trade about 1 setup per day. In a week, I'll take like 1 to 2 setups, but I want to tell you guys a story real quick before we dive into the juicy information. There was a day when I was trading Bitcoin. Cryptos used to have a very small spread, so it was amazing to trade them on the weekends. They would move like crazy. This was in like 2019, 2020. Around that time. But I had funded a trading account with $5,000, and I took that $5,000 to $10,000 in one day. And I was like, I'm on top of the world, baby. I'm gonna take this account from $10K to $20,000. And what's crazy is when I took those trades that day, I didn't use the stop loss because I was really monitoring the trades the whole entire day. But then I was like, let me just let these trades go with no stop loss, which was so stupid because the next morning I woke up and I saw the whole entire account blowing. You guys do not know the feeling that I had, the pain that I went through, but they say with no pain, there's no gain. And I'm in full agreement with that because one thing that I'm gonna talk about is when you take a loss, there's a certain emotion that you're gonna feel, or whatever happens, you're gonna feel the emotion of sadness, you're gonna feel depressed, you're gonna maybe cry, but you need to experience that pain so you can use that pain in future references to put yourself back in that position and say, do you know what? Last time I did this, I was really depressed for the rest of the day. Last time I did that, I smashed the keyboard on my laptop and I broke the screen. And I have done that with a laptop, a MacBook, where the little mouse pad, I hit it so hard, the whole thing cracked and shattered. And I started putting myself in these scenarios that I had been in the past of my trading and started to tell myself, do you know what? I didn't like the way that I acted that day. I didn't like what happened in the way that I felt that day. So I'm gonna step back for a second and learn from my mistakes. And we as humans have to go through a really detrimental tragedy to learn from our mistakes. We have to have a family member die to say, do you know what? I'm done drinking and partying. We have to break a leg to say, do you know what? I'm done speeding on the highway going 120 after getting into a car accident. So you guys need to be smart because when we're dealing with money here, it's a completely different ballgame than if you're dealing with something else in life. So the first thing that I want to go over with you guys is the 5 steps to change. And I would recommend that you guys get a notepad and take some notes because I'm going to drop some bombs. All right, the first thing that we're going to go over is the 5 steps of change. This stuff right here is magic. You guys should all be taking notes for this part right here. And why not take notes for the rest of the video? But let me explain this to you guys because this works in every aspect of your life if you want to see a change. The first step of change is when I make a mistake, but I am not cognizant, I'm not aware of the repercussions or the consequences associated with that mistake. The second stage of change is when I make a mistake and I'm starting to become aware. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do this because I don't like drinking 20 shots in a night and feeling extremely hungover the next day, throwing up, not being able to recover, do anything. I don't like that feeling. That's stage 2. Stage 3 is when I make a mistake, but I can no longer take the pain associated with that mistake. I can't take the consequences of drinking. I do it a couple times, I get a hangover, and then it gets to a point on the 3rd stage where I'm like, do you know what? I'm done drinking this much. It's just not good for me. The 4th stage of change is when I occasionally fall back into that trap. So let's say that I went 6 months without drinking 20 shots in a night, which is absolutely crazy. You would be blacked out, by the way. But let's say I went 6 months without taking 20 shots in a night, and then one night I got peer pressured into it. Now the 4th stage is the most important stage in the stages of change because on that 4th stage, you're gonna be reminded of the pain that you felt before, and it's that final like, okay, I remember why I don't do this. So the 4th stage is when I occasionally make that mistake, but then I'm like, you know what, this isn't worth it. Yo, if you guys are looking to scale your trading business and you want to get to the next level, whether you're just starting out or you already have some experience in the trading industry, you need to join us at Reward Over Risk. We have a bunch of programs like one-on-one mentorship where I actually have a 10-day class where I show you my exact strategies. We have live trading sessions where we get on Zoom calls and trade together as a community. And we also have trading softwares that can trade 100% hands-free for you. We have everything that you need to take over to your trading this year and the following years. But the only way for you to apply for this is to click the link in the description and book a phone call. Once again, click the link in the description, book a phone call, and let's see if you're a good fit to be a part of our community. Talk soon. Then the fifth stage of change is when I finally have conquered that mistake and I no longer make it anymore. So here is the analogy. When I would trade US 30 and NAS 100, I would trade every day of the week. But if you don't know me, I do not trade on Wednesdays. So I used to trade Wednesdays and I lost money. The first couple of times that I did it, this is stage one, step one of the 5 stages of change. The first couple of times that I trade US 30 on Wednesday, thought nothing of it. I was like, okay, I'm taking losses, this is normal. Then I started to trade US 30 and NAS 100 even more on Wednesdays. I was like, do you know what? Why am I taking losses more so on these days versus Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday? Something might be up here. And I kept doing it. On the third stage of change, it got to a breaking point where I was like, that day where I broke the screen on my computer, I was like, fuck this, and I hit it. I was like, I'm done trading on Wednesdays. I was done. I was freaking done. And then 6 months or a couple months down the road, I was like, you know what, let me trade Wednesday. Let me see if the market shifted or something happened. And traded on Wednesday, took a loss. I was like, nope, this is why I do not trade Wednesdays. This is a 4th stage. And now I don't even set my alarm clock to wake up early in the morning for Wednesday. Why? Because I don't trade Wednesday. So these are the 5 stages of change. Very important information. 2 more things that will go by very quick. One thing that has helped me drastically is I like trading on the minute 15 time frame, and this works for any time frame, but what I do is I set and forget my trades. Once I go into a trade, I walk away, I go take a shower, whatever it is. I have my parameters set. I don't need to be staring at the charts the whole entire time. This is something that gave me the biggest freaking breakthrough, okay? And you guys can do this as well, but you guys also on TradingView, what you could do is set an alert. So at your take profit and stop loss, you have an alert. So once it hits your parameters, you'll get alerted. So it's not like you just can't be sitting in front of your iPad the whole time and looking at this thing. And you're like, nah, like you could have it to the right of you, but just lock the screen, focus on a different task in the meantime, because I've done this so many times where I'd be in a trade and it'd be in profit. And I was like, do you know what? Let me enter another lot. Boom. I enter another lot. Boom. I enter another lot. And it hits my stop loss. And instead of taking my 2% loss that I automatically thought I was going to take for that day, if I did take a loss, I now risked 10% of my account. And it ended up hitting my stop loss and I felt really stupid. So I've noticed that just setting the trade and walking away, doing something else has been very helpful. And you guys should be, the way that I think of it is when I take a trade, I either want to be dead asleep to where I know for a fact I can't do anything about that trade, or I want to be extremely busy. I want to be in the gym, I want to be for a walk, just somewhere where I'm not capable of closing that trade, or where I have it right next to me the whole time where I have to stare at the screen. Next thing, you guys can use a Risk Guardian on your trading account. I think there's one called Argo Guardian or something like that you can connect to MetaTrader 4 on your computer. And what it does is, this is a Risk Guardian. So if you say to yourself, do you know what, I'm gonna only risk 1% of my account, but you know yourself, and that if you take a 1% loss, you're gonna revenge trade. There's an indicator that you can put on your chart that will basically, you can set it to say 1% drawdown for the day. And once it hits that, it closes all your trades out. It just closes everything out. You can't go back into the markets. This is definitely something that a lot of you should look into if you're that type of person and want to revenge trade or just get back into the markets. If you guys found any of these tips helpful, click that like button below And also drop a comment for me. And if you're new to my channel, hey, might as well stay around, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I do post. Without further ado, guys, I'll let you enjoy your night, as I am too. Not a lot of people made it to the end of the video, but you did. Make sure you share this video with a friend. Also, comment below. I want to know who you guys are and how I can help you guys out with your trading. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping weekly videos every single week on trading to help you guys out. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.